Inside her ex-husband's vehicle, Lena discovers a piece of paper, an old marriage document still bearing the wedding ring. As she inspects it, she realizes the truth. Jane is suffering from a chronic illness. Overcome with emotion, she bursts into tears. When Jane enters the vehicle, Lena confronts him. He calmly explains that he never mentioned it because he didn't want pity. He only wanted to spend time with Jake and give him a future while he still could. Their emotional moment is interrupted by the grandfather, and together they race to the underground construction site in search of Jake. Upon arrival, they find Don and the other workers have already broken into the tunnel and plan to release poison gas to kill the monster. Jane tries to stop them, insisting Jake is still alive, but Don is blinded by vengeance. As tensions rise, the grandfather sabotages the machinery. Taking advantage of the confusion, the group pushes past the workers and rushes into the cave. Inside the trash-filled cavern, the scientist's assistant uses a detector to trace the monster. They follow the signal until they reach the massive beast, who's watching over Jake. Jane attempts to run to his son, but the scientist holds him back. They need a plan. He fires a tranquilizer at the creature, but the monster had already sensed them and knocks him aside. It roars in anger, only to be hit again, this time by Jane. Lena hurls more chemicals to subdue it. The creature, furious, gently places Jake in a safer spot before turning to face the humans. The tranquilizers finally take effect, and the beast collapses. As the parents climb the garbage mound to reach Jake, the scientist marvels at the creature and draws a blood sample. But something's wrong. The monster awakens, more enraged than ever, feeling threatened in its own home. It lunges at Jake, but is struck by a flying arrow from the workers. Enraged, the humans launch an all-out attack. The creature retaliates, flinging people into the air. Hooks are thrown to restrain it. Meanwhile, Don locates the deadly chemical and hurls it at the monster's face, severely burning it. He follows up with a massive arrow shot to the chest. The beast, overwhelmed, is losing the fight. Just then, Jake begins to wake. Horrified by the sight, he begs them to stop. Hearing Jake's voice gives the creature renewed strength. It throws its attackers aside, but one worker lights a stick of dynamite, only to accidentally toss it toward Jake and his parents. The explosion knocks the boy from the pile of debris. The monster, though gravely injured, leaps in and catches Jake just in time, saving him again in front of everyone. But there's no time to celebrate. A towering heap of trash begins to fall, and the creature throws itself over Jake to shield him, suffering even more brutal wounds. As the monster lies wounded, the workers close in, thirsting for revenge. They stab the creature repeatedly, ignoring Jake's desperate cries. Finally, Don drives a spear into the creature's heart. As he pulls it out, garbage spills from the wound, but no human remains. Moments later, survivors arrive and reveal the truth. The monster didn't kill anyone. It was the giant spiders that had slaughtered the workers. The stunned group lowers their weapons. Don turns and stares at the lifeless creature, realizing that he has become the very thing he sought to destroy, a monster. In the aftermath, Jane is reunited with his son. Lena, now seeing her husband in a new light, chooses to give their love another chance. She agrees to remarry him, and the family embraces as Jake watches with quiet joy. Later, Jane is interviewed about the incident. When asked about the monster, he refuses to use that word. The creature, he says, never harmed a soul. He speaks instead of how humanity has become the destroyer, killing nature, destroying habitats, and asks the viewers one final question: who's the real monster now?